taking you back to your very first battle, if you remember it. Do you remember the first time you fired a gun?
Yes.
Tell us about
That was
that.
1981. I was in Karamoja as a platoon commander in Nabiratuk with my platoon, and the Karamojongs had raided cows, and we had to go and intercept them and take away the cows from them. We fought for about 2 hours. Yeah, that was my first active battle.
Do you remember the nostalgia, the emotions during that particular time and what you were thinking?
Well, it's a long time ago. It's about 35 years ago. Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Okay.
But of course, in the heat of the battle, sometimes you get some soldiers who want to kind of sneak away, or
Like run away.
yes, like some who get the battle fear,
Really?
and you as a commander, you have to
tell them to
keep
go
them
back.
keep going. Yes.
And what if they refuse? What do you do?
No, they don't, because you see, in the military, that's the beauty of the military. The military there's nothing like refuse. Because you see, there's no argument. Because especially when you're in the battlefield, you don't have that time to go into argument. Because by the time you finish arguing, possibly you'll be dead. So that's why you see, for example, once the bullet rings out, everybody just goes down. You don't even need to tell him, because he knows that if he's going to stay standing, possibly the next bullet is going to get in his bloody forehead. So in the military, there's nothing like.
So you're saying you haven't had incidents where a person joins the army and then on battlefield they don't want to fight anymore, and then they change their mind?
Well, those there will always be those few ones.
So do you accept to whatever they want?
How to get them out of that is how much training do you do, and how much do you inject in the training.
Okay.
The training prepares the soldier, prepares the person not to have those kind. But if it's not that, if it's half-baked, yeah, many people will freeze.
So which people in the military, present or past, have inspired you?
Colin Powell, the American general. Yes. Yeah. He's one of my role models in the military. Locally, my commander-in-chief, the president, is my inspiration. His way of looking at things, his determination, and he has one of the virtues which are very rare to get, and that's his patience with life and patience with people. I would love to be remembered as somebody has contributed positively to the growth of this institution, so that when my time comes to leave, I leave behind a better institution than possibly where I found it. In all aspects, in terms of welfare, in terms of discipline, in terms of outlook, in terms of capability and performance. That's what will make my day if my day comes for me to leave and I'm leaving behind a better institution.
Okay, so if I take you back,
Yep.
what was your reaction, your parents' reaction when you told them you were going to join the army?
And did I tell them?
What do you mean you didn't tell them?
Actually, my dad didn't know about it. My mom didn't know about it. It's only my brothers who knew. My brother who knew that I was joining the army.
Why didn't you tell them? And how did they react after when they found out?
The time I went to the army, my dad was of advanced age. I didn't want to give him sleepless nights, because at that time, many people did not think positively about guys in uniform. And I knew that possibly he would not approve of my going into the military. But my brother knew better, because he was more exposed. So I shared with him about my dream of going into the army.
All right, then how would you compare today's army with that of the past?
First of all, this army is a very, very different army. Different in a way that it's so much of a people's army. It's a pro-people army, as opposed to the armies which I grew up seeing, where the army or the man in uniform was a scare. I think that has totally changed now. I think the population is more comfortable with the people in uniform. And that's one of the biggest differences between. Secondly, this army has a lot of highly educated, professional people in all areas. You can talk about engineers, doctors, lawyers, teachers, in all professions. The lowest level of recruitment for a soldier in the army now is senior 4, which is a total departure from what the other armies were. Before, the army was a place where rejects of society would end. They used to say, that man is very stubborn, let him go in the army will straighten him. These days it doesn't work that way. So it's a very different army.
Many soldiers are often away for months, for years. At times they go away, they leave a family. And then on return, they find that probably maybe their partners or spouses or wives moved on to probably maybe other relationships, or they can't connect with them anymore. And we've seen reports of where army officers have been violent to their spouses, to even the extent some of them murdering them in cold blood. So I want to ask, in your opinion, what you think about that, and if the army, you feel, is doing enough to counsel them, preparing them for their return after serving.
I think yes, there are those incidences, but I think those are not the majority of cases. Those are the isolated cases where we have found that has happened. But it's true, as we prepare these soldiers, especially for missions which take them away from their families, we often take them through that kind of counseling and preparing. Even when they come back, they're first counseled and sometimes told, educated, that in the inevitable circumstance that you find your partner has moved on, then that's not the end of life. It could be another opening. As they say, if one door closes, another one opens. So don't jeopardize your life and your career by taking the extreme action. But again, we are dealing with human beings. Some hold, some don't.
Married since 9th May 1987, Gen.Katumba Wamala says that his wife was his childhood sweetheart from his school days before he ever even had dreams of joining the army.
Were you still in the army?
That's a long story.
Or before you joined the army?
That's a very long story. My wife is my youth, or my
your
school
sweetheart,
date.
your school,
yes.
high school sweetheart,
Date,
like
yes.
we call them.
Yes.
So how did the relationship happen?
I don't think she'd love to hear that. But I can tell you it was, it all started at the end of year. What do you call them these days? Sosh?
Sosh. Then it used to be Sosh. Then we call them end of year parties. Do you know what they call them now?
I don't know. but
now they call them prom.
Oh, whatever.
Prom day.
Okay.
Exactly.
but whatever that is. But
exactly.
that's how we met.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. So how long have you been together?
Wow. That was when I finished HSC. That was 1976.
1976.
Yes.
All right. So
but then we parted company. She went to Greece. Then she went to the US. But then, possibly, as they say, what God had prepared to be together, we came later to meet, and we got married in 1987.
All right.